Welcome back to the Atlas Masterclass. Today we're talking fried tofu. So what I want to do is talk about this firm tofu we have here. We're going to quickly press it, and then I've got some 5-spice starch here. So that's got sort of some fennel, some Szechuan pepper, some white pepper, some cinnamon and star anise inside. And we're going to do one that's dusted in this and then one that's not dusted, and show the difference between how they'll fry, what the different applications and uses are. And if you want to add some 5-spice starch or add something to this recipe, you could use some flour, you can use rice flour, tapioca starch, corn flour, anything you want that will give it a similar texture. We do recommend the corn starch or the rice flour, because you do get a really great texture from it. It's really thin and really crispy. So first thing with this recipe, we're going to put this second piece of paper towel on top. I'm going to add this weight just for a minute to press this down. So when you press the tofu, it will make it more dry, pressing some of the water out. So when it fries, it will go even more crispy and more delicious. So now I remove the weight, and then I take this paper off, and you can see the water that's come out of it. And then that there is now even a firmer tofu, and it's not as wet. So that's going to really help it actually when we pan sear it. So the next step is taking it off, and I'm going to slice it up. So this one I'm going to cut into 4, just some nice long rectangles. And now this one here, just dusting it in this flour. And the other one I won't dust at all. So we love using this 5-spice starch, and it really adds a lot to this dish. So getting that extra bit of crunch, and when you're cooking with the tofu. But for our mee goreng noodles, we decided to not do the 5-spice starch, because you're looking for more of that sort of firm tofu, and you're not going for as much texture, where something that, you know, you want a salad with that crispy tofu in it, that's where you're going to want that real crispiness. So I add in here the oil. So I'll start with our non-spiced tofu, just placing it in the pan. So I do use a bit of oil because we are frying. Then this one here as well, placing that in. And I did warm up the pans, but now I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit more. I just like to, when you're adding something into a pan like this to fry, I think it's good to adjust the heat and bring it up, because you don't want to add it in and it's too hot and you instantly burn it. So now it's time to have a look at, let them cook. So they'll take maybe a minute on each side, and then I'm going to have some paper towel ready for them to soak off that excess oil, and then we can have a look at the difference between the two options. And just being sure to sort of move them around. One little kitchen trick as well, if it is sticking, it's better to not touch it and let the actual side of it dry out, and then it will come off the pan, as opposed to sort of ripping it. This one here that's covered in starch definitely shouldn't stick though. So you can see it's cooking up really nicely. So I'm going to leave them now for another minute. So now it's time to give this one a flip. As you can see, we're getting a nice amount of colour on there, so not too much, not too little. And if you find that it's cooking inconsistently at all, you can just flip that back over to get that beautiful crispness across the whole thing. And this one here, because it obviously don't have the starch, it might take that little bit longer, but you'll get a different type of crispness on this one. And because of the water content in here, you'll find that when you don't use the starch or a flour, you might have to just cook it. This one will take a little bit longer to cook. This one should be almost ready. It's so tasty. So now our 5-spice starch one is cooked through, so you can see that stunning golden colour on it. Just taking that off like so. And then this one here, taking out the nice golden one. So this one might need, in the middle, might need a little bit longer. Being careful to flip that. This one here's got a beautiful golden colour on there. And there we are, So we've got this stunning little tofu there. Flip it over just to make sure, you know, it's important when you're frying anything that you get all the excess oil off. So you want the oil obviously to make that beautiful golden color, but you don't want to be eating a big mouthful of oil at the end. And there we are. So we've got our two final products here. So this one here, you can really see the crispness. And when you break that apart, so you've got that outer layer like that, super crunchy. And then this one here is a lot softer. It's got a nice golden color on the outside, which has fried. Still got a beautiful mouthfeel, but this one is perfect to be then stir fried through our noodles or through a sauce, and it will really soak up all that liquid. Where this one here is just perfect on top of a dish, that crispy fried color on top, and you'll be able to bite through and enjoy that, say with a salad or a poke bowl. So something, two different types of fried tofu, and the reason why you do it.